Hey guys, it has been, well, it feels like forever since I've actually made a video, so I thought I would make one on my absolute favorite tool in Blender, which is soft select or proportional editing. Honestly, I think it's the most important tool. You could call it a tool, couldn't you? Feature, whatever that Blender has. I know that's kind of loaded, but it's so powerful. It's like sculpting while you're in edit mode. So the first thing we're going to do is add a icosphere. So I'm just going to add something and then I'm just going to talk about it for a couple minutes. Go into edit mode and then I'm going to choose the top vertice and press 1. And then I'm just going to bring that up a little bit with proportional editing. So when I first started using this tool a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I don't even know. I could not figure it out because maybe it's been even longer, but I was using a laptop. So first thing that I want to say about this is if you're using a laptop right now and you're trying to use the soft select, you're going to want to get a mouse because I've tried every combination: page up, page down, up, down, left, right, shift, control, alt, shift, control, tab, cap locks. I mean, I tried everything and I just could not get it to work. So what you really need is your middle mouse wheel, and not the mouse wheel on the laptop. I don't think that even works either. So yeah, get a mouse and let's turn that down. So up on your top left is where you're going to see the numbers, and then again you need to make sure this is on. So that triple double circle thing, press G to activate soft select. And you can see right beside proportional size on the top left, there's numbers, and that's the size of your tool. So if you're trying to use it and your entire thing, object is moving, then it's too big. So if you press G, I am scrolling up on the mouse wheel to bring it down. You can see the numbers. You want your numbers to be decreasing. So 4, 3 meters to all the way down, and now I can actually see the tool. So again, if your tool is too big and off the screen, then it's not gonna work the way you probably want it to. So make sure you scroll up with your mouse wheel until you see the circle, and then you can press escape and then just press G again, and now you can move it. So I'm going to press escape because I want this to be perfectly symmetrical, and I'm just going to use the arrow key to bring it up. And now I'm going to bring that up. I kind of want this part to go up, so I'm just going to make the tool a little larger and bring it up a bit more. So it must be kind of like a teardrop. And then maybe I'll bring the base down a little. And I'm gonna make a couple sort of sparkly type teardrop decorative things. This will probably turn this into earrings or something like that. Let's see, I'm gonna go into camera view. Oh, this is weird. I don't know what. Oh, whoops. Just gonna go into camera view really quick to see. Do I not have a camera in my scene? I don't know why I don't. I'm just going to set up the camera real quick to make sure I have a good angle. So the add-on that I'm using for this is the camera. It's like stored views. 3D view semicolon or colon stored views is the app, and then that'll bring up this view tab here, and it's I can't live without it. It's amazing. So just pick whatever sort of angle you want and then go camera to view, and then make sure you, when it first comes up, press initialize, and you can click on this camera to view here, and then you can just press G and kind of move your camera around to whatever angle you want. Okay, so I'm going to go unclick that. I'm going to get back out of camera mode, and I'm going to add another object. I'm going to add a UV sphere, and I'm going to move that over a little. Make sure you turn off your proportional editing first, and I'm going to go into edit mode. And then this one, I kind of wanted to have like a shape like that, and then I want it to spiral around a little bit. I'm going to use my Z mirror, and then I'm just going to bring that out a little. And I'm going to decrease the size of my soft select, and then bring it up again. And then I'm going to press 2. I'm going to grab this edge and bring that down a bit. Maybe scale it in. And then I just pressed 1 to select the vertex, because sometimes it's easier to do that. And I'm going to press 2 and just select the edge. And that one I'm going to leave just like that. I'm going to go shade smooth, and I'm going to duplicate that. I'll bring this one over on this side. And then for this one, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to choose just a couple of these edges, full edges here. I'm pressing Shift and then Alt to select all the way from the top to the bottom. And I'm just going to select a couple. It doesn't matter exactly which ones you select, but that's sort of off center, I guess. And then I'm going to go delete. I'm going to go not fully delete, dissolve edges. And then I'm going to add a modifier, but in object mode. And the modifier is going to be simple to form. So you can already see that kind of nice curve starting. And actually it's going to need some multi-res. I'm going to move that to make that the first modifier and just give it, I mean, you can just do one for now. Maybe I'll go like, that's fine. I want to see what it looks like, but it will slow down your computer a little bit. So for the angle, I'm going to go 500, or maybe not. I think it's on the Z-axis. Yep, Z-axis, and then I'm going to duplicate this one, And this, I'm just going to do kind of like an experiment. This is sort of like a shade, not shade, a Caustics experiment. So Caustics needs shade smooth to work properly, but I feel like it still looks good with shade flat, which is this one, but we're just going to see the difference. So I'm going to add a bevel modifier to keep it sharp, and then the amount 0.03, maybe 0.01, maybe 0.01. I mean, it still kind of looks cool. It just gives it sort of a different angle. And then let's check the camera. This one's pretty boring, so maybe we will. I think I'm going to switch these out. I'm going to bring this one over here. I'm just going to go camera to view and just move that a little bit. I really want this one to be the focal because it's kind of the nicest part of the angle, I think. But try not to spend too much time doing that. Okay. So, and then just make sure you unclick this when you find an angle that you like. That's kind of it for the soft select portion. So hopefully that helps somebody. And then I'm going to get into making a, just like a backdrop. And maybe just for good practice, we will add, oops. Add a new collection. I kind of like to keep the background stuff in a different collection, especially when you start adding lots of things. So I'm going to add a cylinder, and then we're going to rotate it on 90 degrees. I'm going to scale that up. And it's going to control A scale. Why not? So we're going to go to edit mode, and then I'm going to delete the edges of it. Oh, sorry, the faces. And I'm going to make sure that keep both of these on to see the X-ray mode. And I'm just going to delete. Hopefully that's the front half. No, that's actually not. So I just want to delete half of these faces. So the top part, I want it to come straight up. So where it starts to curve, I'm going to delete all of those. And then I'm going to grab that edge, and you could bring it up with proportional editing, but I'm going to turn that off because I don't really need it now. And I'm just going to drag that all the way up. And then same with the bottom, I'm going to drag that out and see what that looks like in the camera. That looks pretty nice. So I'm going to add, just to keep it even, I'm going to add some edges. I'm going to go Control R, and lengthwise, I'm going to add maybe 8. I mean, it's kind of a guess. Maybe let's do 7. 7 looks better. Enter twice, and then I'm going to go up here, click on that edge, Control R. sometimes it's kind of hard to get the edge. Okay, so select, hover over here and then Control R and Control R7. Enter twice. And then I'm going to go to, we could actually just change the scale here because I want this edge to be not visible in the camera. So I'm just going to move that over. Actually, let's just scale it up a little bit and then make it a little bigger. Okay, I'm going to go back to object mode. We're going to shade smooth that. And pretty much, I think that's almost all the things that I wanted to make. I kind of want this edge end to be here. Maybe I'll shade flat that one and just going to scale this down a little bit and get it in the camera. Okay, so for the backdrop, I'm going to go into our fruit shading just to see some of the colors. So the background, I kind of want it to be like a orangish color. And then we're going to make a glass material. Just call it glass. Or you could call it glass caustics just to keep it separated. So we're going to add a glass BSDF. Change IOR to 5. And then we're going to duplicate that and add a mix shader. I'm going to add a color ramp. This is going to be the alternate version, so we don't really need that one. I'm going to make this one kind of like a... And hook that up to the color, and this one up to the color as well. And we need a gradient texture. And Control T. Let's make that like 0.6 or something. And then make sure it's object to the vector. And that should work. And we'll press this to duplicate it. And for this one, I'm going to do a different color of glass. But I want to keep this on glass, the first one. So this one, I'll use the new glass 2, and then it'll be the glass lavender. I know this is kind of overcomplicating things. You don't even need to make a second one, but it's just nice to have some options sometimes. And this will be okay. So this is shade smooth. Make sure that shade smooth. And what else do we need to add? We need to add some lights. So we're going to add a light here. And then I'm also going to add, actually I think this is going to be stay in the main collection. Oh yeah, it is. And then we're going to add another light, but it's going to be a sun. And this one, I'm going to bring up a little bit. And this yellow dot is how you can control where it's pointing. So I'm just going to point it right in the center. And then, so for the caustics, this is the receiving item. And then the object is cast. So go over to your settings here for object properties. Oh, I always do this. Oh, and make sure that you're in, for caustics to work, you need to be in cycles. So go to cycles and then click on your object. And I'm going to go to caustics, and it's kind of confusing because caustics is everywhere. So go to, make sure you're in object properties. And under caustics, this is going to be cast shadow. I'm going to make all of these cast shadow. And then the background is going to be receiving the shadow. And then one more thing I want to do is have like a nice light bounce. So we're going to add a plane. So add mesh plane. I'm going to bring that up. And then I'm going to scale that up. Control A and scale, why not? It just bugs me how this is off center, but we're not going to worry about it. It's all about the camera angle. So I need to tilt that up a little bit. We're going to rotate it. And scale it out a little. I just want this to like bounce some color into the shadow. So then we're going to make a new material. Let's call it backdrop. And we're going to make it kind of like a nice pink color. All right, so now for the ultimate test. Let's go to render and see how that looks. It's definitely a little bit dark, not enough light.